Hello. Yes, sir. Why Shashank only 4 members, sir? 3 members, sorry. Shall we start the class?
Yes.
Shall we start?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So, about yesterday, theorem 1, that is in Cartesian system. Any doubts? Any doubt in yesterday theorem?
No, sir.
No. So, the same theorem, I am proving it in the polar form. So, that is same thing. So, Cauchy's-Riemann equation in polar form. Cauchy's-Riemann equation in polar form. Yesterday, I proved it in the Cartesian form. So, let us take the statement. So, what exactly similar statement with a variation of small variation. So, that is, if f of z is equal to, here z means, earlier z means x plus iy, here z means r e raised to I theta. So that is equal to u of r theta plus I v of r theta. Why with respect to u and v I am writing r theta is because they are the functions of r and theta. That is, u is function of r and theta, v is function of r and theta. Or simply you can write u plus iv also. Absolutely no problem. So E is analytic at the point z. Z means r e raised to I theta. Then there exist 4 continuous first order partial derivatives. So u and v is there. U with respect to, see, r and theta are the variables, right? So u r, u theta, u theta. These are the 2 variables. V, that is v r, v theta, v r, v theta. So there are 4 first order partial derivatives. So that is u r u theta, v r v theta, or dou u by dou r, dou u by dou theta, dou v by dou r, dou v by dou theta, and satisfy the CR equation. So don't compare exactly like Cartesian only. In Cartesian, it is like ux is equal to vy and uy is equal to minus vx. But in polar, it will be varying. So the student, they'll compare. They'll write ur is equal to u theta and u theta is equal to minus vr. This is totally wrong thing. So what exactly in Cartesian system, it is varying. So what is that CR equation? We will see. So in the Cartesian system, dou u by dou r is equal to 1 by r dou v by dou theta, or and dou v by dou r is equal to minus 1 by r dou v by dou theta. So the same thing with respect to taking a suffix. This is same thing, right? Or else this r you can shift it to this side. So you can write r u r equal to v theta, r v r is equal to minus u theta. Anything you can write it. Okay, so but basic CR equation is this. So these are the same version that I have modified and I have written. Okay, so these are known as CR equations in polar form. It is very, very important what exactly the CR equation in polar form. Okay, these are the CR equations in polar form. Next, we'll go for the proof. Similarly, as usual. So what is the given thing? So this f of z is analytic at the point z. F of z is analytic at the point z. So same thing I'm writing, f of z is analytic at the point z is equal to r e raised to I theta. Okay, so by the definition of analytic, what we have to write? It should be there should be derivative should exist. See, analytic function means what? Derivative should exist. What is the definition of derivative? So that is f dash of z is equal to limit of f of z plus delta z minus f of z divided by delta z. As delta z tends to 0, it should exist and it should be unique. Okay, so next, as usual process we are doing. So delta z is a small increment for z. Similarly, delta r is a small increment for r. Delta theta is small increment for theta. So write it. Earlier, what is f of z? F of z was u of xy plus I v of xy. But here, as it is in polar form, so we have to write f of z is equal to u of r theta plus I v of r theta. So give increment for z. When you are giving increment for z, similar increment you have to give for r as well as for theta. So that is f of z plus delta z, r plus delta r. Wherever r is there, give a small increment. Wherever theta is there, give a small increment. Theta plus delta theta. Next, here also r is there, r plus delta r. Here also theta is there, theta plus delta theta. So therefore, this you can see. We want a difference. F of z plus delta z minus f of z. F of z plus delta z is there here. F of z is there here. Take a difference of these two equations. So that is P of r plus delta r theta plus delta theta minus u of r theta plus I v of r theta. That I had done. So both the brackets you open and write entire thing. Write the entire thing over here. Okay, so that is the zigzag path you can see. That is the real part. Okay, and next tick mark I have given with a red ink. That is the imaginary part. So real part I have collected in one bracket plus I had taken common. Imaginary part I have collected in one bracket. After this difference, what is there? Delta z is there. So divide it by delta z. So this entire thing is divided by delta z. So next what I am doing is that real part divided by delta z plus I'll separate it, I into imaginary part divided by delta z. So that is there here you can see. So that is real part divided by delta z plus imaginary part divided by delta z. So next we have to take the limit for the given function. Okay, so limit as delta z tends to 0. Both the side I you keep out and both the side you take limit as delta z tends to 0. Okay, so this is nothing but f dash of z I am writing. That is same as this. F dash of z is this f dash of z is same as real part plus I into the imaginary part. So that you take equation number 1. That you take equation number 1. So earlier in the earlier proof z is equal to x plus iy I had taken. So now I had to take z is equal to r e raised to I theta. So that is nothing but okay. Delta z I had to write. Here we have to use chain rule. Here we have to use the chain rule because z is a function of r and theta. See, z is a function of r and theta. So dou z by dou r into delta r, dou z by dou theta into delta theta. Okay, so dou z is equal to, so not dou z, it is delta z. So delta z is equal to dou by dou r of z. Z means what? R e raised to I theta into delta r plus dou by dou theta of z means what? R into e raised to I theta delta theta. So therefore you can see. So differentiate with respect to r. So in partial differentiation, we know that when we are differentiating with respect to one variable, other variable becomes constant. Means I'm differentiating here with respect to r, theta becomes constant. So derivative, see, e raised to I theta, I'll take out. Derivative of r with respect to r is 1 into delta of r. So next thing, here I'm differentiating with respect to theta. So when you are differentiating with respect to theta, r becomes constant. R I'll take outside. Differentiation of e raised to I theta is, r is constant. E raised to I theta is I into e raised to I theta into delta of theta. Delta theta as it is there. So this is, so everyone you can see. This is, I wrote it in systematic manner. First I took I, next I wrote it that r e raised to I theta. So this and this, both are same only. Okay. So after this differentiation, see here delta z is tending to 0. As delta z is tending to 0, there are two cases. One is delta r equal to 0. Next one is delta theta is equal to 0. With respect to these two cases, we will study in detail. Okay, so let us take in case 1, delta r is equal to 0. Therefore, equation 2 becomes, when delta r is equal to 0, take it in equation 2. So that is, this is 0. If this is 0, delta z is equal to IR delta theta, IR e raised to I theta delta theta will come. Next, as delta z is tending to 0, what is delta z? This is delta z. So this is tending to 0. That is IR e raised to I theta delta theta is tending to 0. So that is this thing you equate it to 0. So we are getting delta theta tending to 0. So what the conclusion we are getting? So here, this is the one conclusion we are getting. As delta z tending to 0, we are getting delta theta tending to 0. So delta z tending to 0 implies delta theta tending to 0. Understood this? These are the two conclusions we are getting with respect to delta r. Delta r is equal to 0. Therefore, I'll substitute in equation 1. So that is f dash of r, limit delta z tends to 0. This delta z tends to 0 implies delta theta tends to 0. So I'm writing delta theta tends to 0. U r plus delta r. Delta r is 0. R comma theta plus delta theta. So delta, sorry, not this r. 1 second. So here f dash of z. This is as it is. Correct. Next, limit delta z tends to 0. As delta z tends to 0, delta is theta is tending to 0. So that you write it here. Okay. Next, u r plus delta r. R plus delta r means what? 0. Theta plus delta theta as it is. Minus u of r theta divided by delta z. Delta z is nothing but I r e raised to I theta delta theta. I r e raised to I theta delta theta. Plus I as it is, limit delta z tends to 0. So here the things you can see, whichever I have marked tick mark, you can see only those two conditions we are using, right? So because of that, as a delta z is tending to 0, here we are getting a conclusion delta theta is tending to 0. So next what we have to do is that here just check it. V of r plus delta r. So delta r is 0. V r comma theta plus delta theta minus V of r theta divided by delta z. Delta z means what? I'm getting this condition. Only whichever tick mark is there, that we are substituting in equation 1. So therefore, f dash of z is equal to. So here delta theta is tending to 0. Only delta theta terms we have to keep inside. So this entire thing like e raised to I theta is constant, r is constant, I is constant. So this you take outside the limit. So this is outside the limit we have taken. Only we are applying, except this, we are applying limit for this. So next, plus I. So limit delta theta tends to 0. Here also you can see here I r e raised to I theta is a constant quantity. So we have to take out. So I have taken entire thing outside. You can see the square bracket. So this is one square bracket and this is the one square bracket. So except that remaining thing, I wrote it inside. That is inside the bracket. So next thing is that okay. So after taking inside, so that is this is a function. So this is derivative of u, partial derivative of u with respect to theta. This is a partial derivative of v with respect to theta. So that is f dash of z is equal to 1 upon I r e raised to I theta dou u by dou theta plus I dou v by dou theta. So that this outside, this one I'm taking inside for this bracket as well as for this term. So I have multiplied it. So I told you always in complex analysis, I should not be there in the denominator. It should be always in the numerator. You can see here I is there in the denominator. I had to take numerator. So that is 1 upon I had taken into I divided by I have made. So 1 upon r e raised to I theta. So this is as it is. Okay, dou u by dou theta. This I get cancelled. 1 upon r e raised to I theta dou v by dou theta. So f dash of z is equal to I divided by I into I square. 1 upon r e raised to I theta dou u by dou theta plus 1 upon r e raised to I theta dou v by dou theta. So I square means minus 1. So with minus 1, I have shifted to the numerator. So f dash of z is equal to minus I divided by I r e raised to I theta dou u by dou theta plus 1 upon r e raised to I theta dou v by dou theta. So first I'll write the real part, next I'll write the imaginary part. So that is 1 upon r e raised to I theta dou v by dou theta minus I 1 upon r e raised to I theta dou u by dou theta. So like this way, first always write it real part first, next imaginary part. So this is equation number 3. So any doubts? Any doubts? Friends? Any doubts? Okay, fine. So next, similarly, once I have taken delta r is equal to 0, next I'll take delta theta is equal to 0. So that is equation 2. So if you take in equation 2 delta theta is equal to 0, it is coming as delta z is equal to e raised to I theta delta r. So as the delta z tends to 0, delta z is e raised to I theta delta r. So this quantity shifted to this side. So delta r is tending to 0. As delta z tending to 0, I'm getting delta r tending to 0. So therefore, f dash of z is equal to limit of delta z tends to 0 is there. So that delta z tends to 0 will become delta r tend to 0. U of r plus delta r comma theta plus delta theta. Delta theta is 0, only theta will be coming here, minus u of r theta divided by e raised to I theta delta r plus I into limit of delta z tends to 0 is there. Delta z tending to 0 is implying delta r tending to 0. So similarly, v of r plus delta r comma theta plus delta theta. Delta theta is 0 here, minus v of r theta divided by delta z. So here delta z is nothing but this quantity. So that e raised to I theta delta r, e raised to I theta delta r, I am writing here in the denominator. So here delta r is tending to 0. Therefore, this the e raised to I theta will be a constant. I'll take it outside. So that is 1 upon e raised to I theta. So as I had taken this outside, this and this one, only this much is remained, that is this. So this is out in the sense only this much is remained, that one will be this. So that is, this can be written as dou u by dou r, because u with respect to r, this is v with respect to r. So therefore 1 upon e raised to I theta dou u by dou r plus I into 1 upon e raised to I theta dou v by dou r. So here real part and imaginary part. First real part is there, next imaginary part is there. But here it was not so. So first imaginary was there, later it was real part. So because of that, I arranged it first real part, next imaginary part. So therefore, you can see here, equating 3 and 4. We will equate real to real, imaginary to imaginary. So this is a real part. This is a real part. So I'll equate it to real part. Next, with respect to, with minus sign only I have to equate. This is the imaginary part and this is the imaginary part. Equating real and imaginary part. So that is, after equating e raised to I theta, e raised to I theta get cancels. 1 by r dou v by dou theta is equal to dou u by dou r. So e raised to I theta, e raised to I theta get cancelled. Minus 1 by r dou u by dou theta is equal to dou v by dou r. Or else the same thing I can write it as dou u by dou r is equal to 1 by r dou v by dou theta, or dou v by dou r is equal to minus 1 by r dou u by dou theta. Or if you want to write it in the this manner, you can write it like this. Okay, so these are what the CR equations. These are what the CR equations. So any doubts with respect to polar form? Any doubts with respect to no? Okay, fine. So after this, after the polar form, okay, so we are studying one more definition, that is properties of analytic function. So analytic function in the sense, first you can take the differentiation formula, that is f dash of z is equal to limit of f of z plus delta z minus f of z divided by delta z as a delta z tending to 0. That is a one definition you can use. Or else CR equation in Cartesian form as well as in polar form. Okay, ux equal to vy and uy equal to minus vx, or ur is equal to 1 by r v theta, vr is equal to minus 1 by r u theta. So these are all things you can use it now. So if you want to show the function is analytic, either you can go for the main formula, or else we have studied in the form of theorem. So those things you can use it. Next, properties of analytic function. Properties of analytic function. What are the properties are there? How we are using it in the formulas, that is very, very important. So we will go for properties of an analytic function. Next, coming to harmonic function. Harmonic function. Okay, a function pi is said to be harmonic if it is satisfy the Laplace equation. The Laplace equation is del square pi is equal to 0. This is a one question. Or else in the Cartesian form, if the function is harmonic, here pi, we want to show pi is harmonic. So we have to write it as dou square pi by dou x square plus dou square pi by dou y square is equal to 0. Or else pi xx plus pi yy equal to 0. If A is harmonic, for example, A is harmonic. So if you want to show the A is harmonic, I have to show dou square A by dou x square plus dou square A by dou y square is equal to 0. This I have to show it. Okay, so next, in polar form, okay, pi of r theta is harmonic. See, in Cartesian form, you have to show like this. Cartesian in the sense, the variable xy should involve here. In polar form, if you want to show it, in polar form, that is dou square pi by dou r square plus 1 by r dou pi by dou r plus 1 by r square dou square pi by dou theta square equal to 0. I have to show it. Okay, so these are the three definitions of harmonic function. So this is a general definition. So if you want particularly in Cartesian form, you have to show this, and in polar form, you have to show this. Okay. Next, the theorem we are studying here. The real and imaginary part of an analytic functions are harmonic. So we have to show that a real part of an analytic function is harmonic, imaginary part of an analytic function is harmonic. So here they will ask you, prove it in Cartesian system or prove it in polar system. So I have given you separately. So if you want it in a Cartesian form, so first we have to show real and imaginary part of an analytic function. Means first I'll construct an analytic function such that it should have real part as well as imaginary part. So you can see here, let f of z is equal to uxy plus ivxy is equal to u plus iv be analytic function. I constructed this. So I should construct an analytic function such that it should have real part as well as imaginary part. So this is analytic function, a real part as well as imaginary. Okay, so here real part is u, and it is analytic in the sense what I had to show, dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square equal to 0. Then I can show that it is harmonic function, right? Imaginary part is v, and I have to show that dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square is equal to 0. This I have to prove it at the end actually. So proof begins here. Proof begins here. That is, given u plus iv is analytic. So once it is analytic, okay. So when the function is analytic, so in the previous proof we have studied, they should satisfy the CR equations. So what are the, see, it should satisfy the CR equations. So what are the CR equations? Ux equal to Vy and Uy is equal to minus Vx, or else dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y, dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x. So randomly, what do you want to do it? Do it here. Differentiate 1 with respect to x partially and 2 with respect to y. Even you can do it in the reverse way, no problem. With respect to y, with respect to x, that's left to you, absolutely no problem. So next I had done the same thing. Okay, so this I'll differentiate with respect to x, this I'll differentiate with respect to y partially. So that is, you can see this is with respect to x, so that I had shown here. This is with respect to y, that I have shown here. Partial means the symbol dou will come. Okay, so next simplification we will do. Dou square u by dou x square, this is a dou square v by dou x dou y, this is dou square u by dou y square, minus you take out dou square v by dou y dou x, or else, so whatever the mixed derivatives there, this symbol I'll shift it to this side, minus sign I'll shift it to this side. So I'll show it here. So we know that in partial differentiation, mixed derivatives are always equal. In partial derivative, mixed derivatives are always equal. So therefore, mixed derivatives, this is a mixed derivative and this is a mixed derivative. Always they are equal, I'll equate it. So what is this? That is dou square u by dou x square. What is this? That is minus dou square u by dou y square. You shift it to this side. So dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square equal to 0. This means what? This means what? U is harmonic. You can see here. I shown the same thing. That is, U is harmonic. Okay. Hello. 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 Shashank?
Yes, sir.
I am audible, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So next, I said that it is U is harmonic, right? U is harmonic. That is, U means what? Real part of an analytic function is harmonic. So same thing we have to prove it. One part we have proved. So come to the next part. So earlier, first one I had differentiated with respect to x, next one I had differentiated with respect to y. So now the same thing. First I'll differentiate with respect to y partially. Next I'll differentiate with respect to x partially. So that is with respect to y, I had done it. With respect to x, I had done it. Okay. So that is dou square u. See, the simplification leads to this dou square u by dou y dou x, dou square v by dou y square. So this is dou square u by dou x dou y. So minus you take out dou square v by dou x square. So always this mixed derivatives are equal. So I'll equate it. So dou square v, so this is nothing but this dou square v by dou y square. So this is nothing but this. So that is this dou square v by dou x square. So that is dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square is equal to 0. So this means what? According to harmonic function. So this is v is harmonic because you can see here v is there here. V is harmonic. V means what? Imaginary part of an analytic function is harmonic. So therefore we can conclude that real and imaginary part of an analytic functions are harmonic. Therefore, real and imaginary part of an analytic functions are harmonic. Okay, so next, any doubts? Any doubts? So we can discuss because time is not there. So within short span, I cannot explain the polar form. So we will tomorrow we will explain the polar form. Okay, today Cartesian form is completed. So any doubts?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so what all the things we have studied? Definition of analytic function. After that, if the function is analytic, so what are the CR equations? Okay, so that is in Cartesian form. If the function is analytic, what are the CR equations in polar form we have studied? So next, the real and imaginary part of an analytic function is harmonic. So we have studied the Cartesian form. Okay, tomorrow we will study the polar form. So tomorrow theorems will get completed. So after that we will study based on this. Okay, examples we will study. Any doubts? So if you are having any doubts, you can ask me so that I can discuss. No doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, shall we end the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.